Hello, ladies and gentlemen. So, this is about another, yet again, sexual abuse case involving a cop, a teacher, others accused of trying to lure teens for sex out of the Associated Press. And so, it has a video that is attached to it, but I believe it also has what is um, an article that goes into what this whole thing is about. So, authorities have arrested a police officer, a high school teacher, and a minister, and 13 others in a sting in New Jersey, officials said on Wednesday. And so, this was aimed at men who tried to set up a sexual encounters with people that they thought were teenager boys and girls. So, the arrests were made as part of an Operation Home Alone, which targeted people who officials say use social media messaging and dating apps as well in an attempt to lure children. So, parents, relatives, loved ones, or friends of loved ones, you have young people on these dating apps and social media apps and all these little apps, and they think they're talking to people that are around their age. You might have to think again. There's predators that lurk on these messaging social media, like some of the most popular ones, other than Facebook, would be Instagram, Snapchat, all these other ones, Tinder, and who knows what else. They have so many of them out there now that young people are attracted to. And so there are potential victims. And so New Jersey Attorney General Gerber Gruel. So if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, maybe the video will say what I'm saying correctly. Said that most of the defendants were arrested when they arrived at the residence in Bergen County, where they expected to find the victim home alone. So the arrests were made April the 11th, 11:15. And so, despite the undercover officers identifying themselves as 14 and 15 years old, authorities said that the men still engaged in conversations about sex and arranged to meet up with these people. And so the 16 men were arrested allegedly used social media to stalk their victims they believed were vulnerable children who could be sexually exploited, Ruhl said. Parents need to know, as I was saying before I got to this part of the paragraph, that parents need to know that the profiles of underage girls and boys we post on social media to catch these offenders could easily have been profiles of their own children. So he added this: our message to parents with Operation Home Alone is be on guard. Our message to child predators is law enforcement is working overtime to find you and arrest you. Besides the police officer from New Jersey and the New York City teacher and the traveling minister, the defendants also include a dental hygienist and a barbershop owner and a drivers for rideshare companies. And so these are people with what you would think credible jobs or people that might seem harmless, but they were involved in this sexual sting, this ring of pedophilia and luring teens that are vulnerable. So the defendants face charges including luring and attempting sexual assault. Two of the men are also charged with having child pornography on their electronic devices, including one who allegedly had more than 13,000 files of suspected child porn on his phone, and a second who is already facing sentencing on a prior child porn charge. So the investigation was part of a New Jersey Regional Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force, which conducted a similar sting last September called Operation Open House, leading to the arrest of 24 men. So There are apparently so many predators out there. And the scary part about this is to find out the occupations of these people. You would think that they're not going to harm anyone. Just think of the women who are probably married to these people or in relationships with these individuals, unsuspecting that their husband or boyfriend is part of this child porn ring. Anyway, to go on further, there's a video that is attached to this. And so, without further ado, let's play the video. Hopefully, it plays. If it doesn't, what do you think about this situation? It's starting to become pretty prevalent where they're starting to uncover who these people really are because normally people think it's somebody that's menacing or somebody that you right away you can spot the predators. But it says they have like reputable jobs: a school teacher, a police officer, a minister, a dental hygienist, and someone that operates rideshare. Can you imagine? Rideshare, isn't that where you ride with different people and you're riding around and it's like you think this person is safe. You don't know who you're involved with. And so for that, I don't know, but anyway, I'm gonna go into this right here.
Child sex predator sting that's happened in New Jersey. Investigators just announced those charges. New Jersey reporter Anthony Johnson is live for us with details on this. Good afternoon, Anthony.
Good afternoon to you, Michelle. Yes, the details of this case, disgusting and disturbing. As you said, 16 people arrested, but all of those arrests came in a period of just 5 days. Here's the picture of the men, and all of them that appear in the photograph allegedly wanted to have sexual encounters with children anywhere from 13 to 15 years old. Now, these men come from all walks of life, and some were in positions where they had access to young children. They went online, used several dating apps and game apps to connect to people they thought were minors, but they were really talking to police officers who were running a sting operation out of Bergen County called Operation Home Alone. That's because the predators thought they were meeting with children while their parents were not at home. Once the suspects arrived, they were taken into custody. They went on websites like Grindr, Tinder, Meet Me, and Adam for Adam. Authorities say all the defendants thought they were talking to underage children. One was a cop from Widgewood, New Jersey, a minister also, and a teacher from New York who was arrested after setting up a meeting with a child just 14 years old. Kevin Roth is another defendant. He is a 26-year-old high school teacher in the Bronx. He's charged with arranging to have sex with a 14-year-old boy during an online chat. Everybody in this room knows that a victim who undergoes this type of exploitation deals with that issue for the rest of his or her life. Now, everyone here is encouraging parents to make sure they check their children's phones and iPhones to make sure they're not talking to predators on those game apps and those other applications. The suspect faced charges of luring, attempted sexual assault of a minor, plus some of the defendants actually sent pictures to the children that were actually cops, but they sent pictures to them of their private areas. So as we said, this case is very disgusting and very disturbing.
Okay, with that being said,
Hello, this is Spectrum.
Hi, you have no.
I'm gonna let this video go, but this is just yet but another sick, disgusting revelation that you just don't know who to trust. Any one of those guys could have been boyfriends, husbands, uncles, somebody's teacher, somebody's driver, somebody that you live next door to, and you would never know that these people are engaging in this type of activity. So that's why I say it's not safe. And even for our teenagers, you have to really be careful about who you're getting involved with and what the motives are for people nowadays. It's not a good look at all. So with that being said, I'm gonna let this video go. Just be aware of what your kids or what your young people are on social media, because there's so many predators out there. Just did a story about the Boy Scouts and how long that whole ordeal has been going on for several decades, since 1944, where they just uncovered a list of suspected predators. It's alleged that there had been a ring of individuals who had also been sexually abusing boys in the Boy Scouts. And so this is another case here. And now they're using social media. Social media is very powerful, and it's very open to young people. And even if you think you're supervising your kids, when they get out on their own, they're going to go out and they're going to use their cell phones, and they're going to go on these chats and these apps, and they're going to get in touch with people whom they think are other children or other teens, and when in fact they aren't. So, what are your thoughts and feedback on this? Sad, but true. Thanks for listening.